Yeah. First of all, there is some enjoyment in this line that says, you know, "My dear Watson, this is elementary," you know, from Sherlock Holmes, where exactly what they said. And also, I couldn't help thinking about von Trier's film. I think it's called The Idiots, where where they have consciously and willingly reduced themselves to just this laughing all day long and throwing food at each other and having sex in the garden and so on. And I couldn't help having this...
So that's your definition of idiocy?
No,
go ahead. Just checking.
This is more close to what was said before, that we would all in the end like to do that all day long.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
No, but you know, you do point to a topos and theme that we would want to consider, which is that of laughter. The laughter of the idiot. The laugh or the smile of the idiot. And for a comprehensive and outstanding book on laughter, I would refer you to Diane Davis's work on laughter, or Bataille, or Jean-Luc Nancy on laughter, which is non-signifying. How to even, or Freud. Let's start with Freud on laughter. For Freud, laughter is a Geschenk. It's a kind of gift, in a sense. So there's another aneconomy that we would want to think of. So yeah, that would open up a new dossier too. Thank you.
To do it willingly.
That was, you know,
type of video.
I just turned off the deconstructive machine because I first got real excited when you said they consciously. That would be a big problem, wouldn't it? If you consciously destroyed your consciousness, or can you become an idiot? Well, Hegel thought you could if you went to Schopenhauer's class.
In the film, they were acting like idiots. In the film, they were acting like idiots. They were not idiots. They were acting.
Exactly. No, but that's important too, because Kant says people who act like idiots, and then I freeze frame that. What does it mean to act like an idiot? Does it mean that means you're not, or you are? And those are the questions. But, right.
You could not act like an idiot, then you are an idiot.
But at the end of the film,
exactly. So.
But at the end of the films, they pulled themselves back from being idiots. They pulled themselves back. To
which film?
Love for three idiots.
Idiots.
Idiots by
Okay.
The worst love.
I thought all films. I thought you were saying
No, he
films,
mentioned
the
the film,
actors.
The
Okay,
Idiots.
sorry. Wrong drugs here.
My question actually takes a slightly different tact on this. I got to thinking about artificial intelligence expert systems, or even avatars that we're now creating for things like Second Life and so forth. And in many ways you could see them as a sidekick in terms of the avatar, but could you take this analysis of idiocy and stupidity and look at something that's not human, but has maybe some of the similar traits?
Yeah. Absolutely, and I have in it at least 3 books. I'm not trying to be funny here, but I'm wiped out. And absolutely, and this is also the immense field that Heidegger opens and forces us to confront, and Schirmacher has written on as well, which is to say how to move these determinations onto, let's say, technological objects or events, or under whose sway we now exist. So in any case, when I speak of the human here, it's a courtesy call to give you a comfort zone, a metaphysical comfort. But that's actually where I do a lot of my work in terms of AI and other philosophies of technology. And certainly, who mentioned Turing? Did you, Slava? Yeah. Yeah, and work in terms of Turing and so on.
And Elizabeth, it's not non-human, your computer. That's only your misunderstanding of it. Okay, one more question. Which I go like this. Nobody here? Okay.
Going back to the willfully being idiot. When I think of idiocy, I immediately have to think about Avital Ronell, the Polish writer who uses it as a tactic for people to treat each other as idiots, and then this whole scene where actually people do play with shit in the end of pornography, I think, happens, and then the appropriation of this kind of model I'm not sure whether this is whether this is applicable, but by Lyotard when he treats Marx like a little girl in liberal economy.
And that's an idiot?
I'm not. No, he treats Marx like at least partially as an idiot in order to degrade him. At least that's my thought. So it's more or less used as a tactic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely, and that's certainly something that is very tempting to consider with great seriousness, which is in the great texts and sites where and how one calls the other an idiot. And Lacan was very prolific in really naming, this one's an idiot, that one's an idiot, but also you're right, what kind of tactical mapping occurs in sites of knowledge and exchange of knowledge and the encounter of academic and para-academic and other kinds of situations. Certainly in German settings, the vocabulary is quite limited to Arschloch and Idiot, right? I mean, do they still say? I haven't been called that. Yeah, for a long time. So you're absolutely right to ask about the strategic, almost history and qualities of naming the other an idiot, and why this would be more distressing, injurious, and paralyzing. In our shared professions, you can be outed as anything, but if you're called, and Kafka writes about this in his Nachlass, in his unpublished stuff, if you're called stupid or an idiot, that's it. That is like the and the absolute devastation.
It's good to know. Judith Butler called me a fool here a few years ago.
Fool is loving.
Fool is loving.